Welcome to episode 10 of Madoka Magica. Last time we had to say goodbye to Kyoko and Sayaka completely as well. She had already lost herself and become a witch, but then that was wrapped up and it was tragic and really well done. And of course, Homura's the only one left here to fight the incoming threat, and Kyubei wants Madoka to join in, which she presumably will. Just don't know when that's going to happen, this time or next time or what. I don't know what'll happen now. So let's find out. We're going to watch and discuss it. I've got the subtitles and the timer on screen if you want to follow along that way, or you can pull up the episode on the side. But either way, let's get into it. We're starting after any logos. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, play. What will Madoka do now? Look at this. What am I looking at right now? That is Homura with the hair and the glasses and that demeanor. We're getting some answers. That's awesome. So she had a heart condition. Then came to school. Super quiet, shy girl. I'm really glad that we're getting this. Because I didn't think the battle would be now. I thought that might be maybe like next episode. But I didn't know what we would do in the meantime. So this is good. So this is what originally happened. So we're not like time looping exactly. Because this is not the exact same thing that happened. Although, even though this is what originally happened, she might now be looping through this new series of events. Or not. It might be the first time through, but... So, Madoka was real nice to her. Health officer or whatever the hell. So she's taking her, escorting her around. So she did know her personally. They became close. She was nice. It's so weird to see her like this. It doesn't seem like the same person. Oh, you will. She's super smart. But I don't know if it's that she doesn't know or if she's just not confident or has like stage fright. But she might have not known because she's been out of it for so long. So she wasn't super smart and super cool and super athletic, and she just has become that now. Which makes me think like there has been, I mean, that might just be from becoming a magical girl, but it makes me think there's been like a lot of time passing, which makes me think she might have time traveled multiple times. No? Well, shit, she got affected by a witch. So again, I don't know the time travel theories that we're operating under in this show. Is it like a separate... Is it a separate timeline? Like, can you change the past? Because obviously this is a whole different series of events than what has happened from what we've been following. But is that just a separate world line? Or, like, have you literally changed things? We'll see how it all turns out. Damn. It's Madoka! Do we get to see Madoka as a magical girl? Finally! In episode 10? And Mommy! So she was one in this original timeline. Hey, you little piece of shit. So yeah, in this original one, Madoka did it. We finally get to see it. Not our Madoka making the choice, but it's something. So what caused her to do it this time, though? What made her take the leap? Are we not getting an OP? Not Sayaka? She's not involved? What kind of crazy strong power does Madoka have? What was her wish? Yes. She's got to train and get ready for the big one, whatever it is. And apparently we've cut straight to it. Mommy died again. You know, maybe shit always turns out the same, even if the steps to get there are different. Maybe it all turns out the same regardless. Steins Gate style. You know, Mommy still dies. Maybe Sayaka somehow died elsewhere, just in the collateral, Kyoko. But Mommy died. Madoka's gonna sacrifice herself, apparently. Homer's gonna make a wish. Yep. There she goes. All to save her. And everybody else. And she died too. But did she do it? Like, it seems like everything's not fine, I mean, but it seems like she did it. She beat the thing. And he's like, ooh, opportunity. I can take advantage of this traumatized girl. He just doesn't see anything wrong with that. He's like, yeah, it's fine. I want to go back in time and save Madoka. Okay, yeah. There's her soul gem. And here she is. So did she just instantly become stronger because of that wish? Like, don't need the glasses anymore, maybe more athletic. Back to the day she left the hospital. She has a soul gem now, though. Okay, so yeah, clearly, yeah, I was right. This is not the first time she's done this. So when she said that I've seen countless magical girls die, seems like what she meant was like Mami and Madoka over and over and over and over. She doesn't know what that. She's like, what? She's saying this in front of everybody. So, yeah, she's done this many times. I don't know how many. Again, with the Steins Gate comparisons. Is that a golf club? What is that? Okay, so she didn't really become very strong, but I mean, she's working on it. She gets to redo. So yeah, she's gone through this many times, and it's been different every time. This is interesting. What eventually happened to get us to where we were in our main story? This is cool. I can't wait to see. Training? Researching? Holy shit. What badasses. My god. Patricia? She's just dropping legs at them. That looks so cool. That is awesome. Her ribbons. What other abilities does Madoka have? Because I don't know what her wish was, so I don't know what attributes that would give her. Boom, bitch. Right in the fucking crotch. That's how you gotta do it. This is so cool watching all this and seeing Homura like this. I feel like you could get multiple episodes out of this. Maybe we will. I kind of feel like it'll just be this one, though. But Madoka still didn't die this time, but became a witch. Ooh, that's even worse. Damn, you didn't fix it. You didn't fix it at all. Back again. I guess I was gonna say, I guess she just has the ability to go back whenever she wants, but I don't think so. I don't think it's a conscious choice. I think she just... When that happens, her power just triggers. So, this time, Sayaka is one? Was she the other times too, and we didn't see her? They do know about Kyoko. And she's telling them the truth about Kyubei. But they're in disbelief. I guess Sayaka just was the whole time and we just didn't see it. Yeah, she's like, bombs? Nah, I'm the bomb one. Till she learns her time manipulation. A sword? A gun! Just put the gun on there, yeah, why? Holy shit! I guess she could just store all that in there. Okay. Good to get more detail about her powers. Octavia von Seckendorf? Okay. Kyoko's here. Okay, so Sayaka became a witch. Still, that did happen. So yeah, shit just kind of happens. You can't really stop it, it seems. It seems like it just happens, even if it's different every time. The way to get there. Nice shooting. Of course, she's manipulating time, so of course. Nice aim, though. So Sayaka still became a witch, but Kyoko didn't die here. Concert stage. Cool. Mommy's still alive, of course. It's so cool seeing like all the alternate possibilities. Whoa. Whoa! What the hell? What the fuck? Mommy? Wow! When she found out the truth, she just fucking killed Kyoko. She's like, we have to die, and then Madoka killed her. God damn! Whoa! This is nothing is working, Homura. Again, Steins Gate like, which is a good thing. You've tried before. Holy shit. So that's what would happen if Mommy found out the truth. She'd fucking snap. Then they're both gravely injured. Both gonna die, but then her power's just gonna activate again. That sounds pretty crazy. Still sacrificed herself for Homura so she can change things. And she's been trying. Okay, so this time does she travel back further because of this new promise? Before she's fooled by Kyubey. Damn, I'm just gonna take her out before she can transform. Back again. Is it still the same day? Oh shit. Whoa. Yeah, that's real vague. That's a lot of guns. I'll just do it myself. That's why she was like, Sayaka, don't care. Doesn't matter. Don't have to, Roberta. Don't have to explain myself to anybody. I'll do it. Okay. She's determined to get powerful enough to take care of it all herself and not let Madoka get involved. But that's not going to work either. Okay, the scene in episode 1 might not be what's gonna happen, but it's another timeline that already did. It might also happen again, though. This was probably the most recent one. So Madoka was basically seeing what happened before Homura went back in time to stop it. So yeah, doing all this, deciding to take it on herself to avoid anybody else getting hurt, just made Madoka transform into a magical girl, which really sucks. That's ironic as hell. Tragic irony. She did all this to stop this, and it caused it. There she goes. Is the episode gonna end? She one-shotted it? But she still died? Like, where... Like, it was just too much power and she just exploded? Like, what happened? Yeah, I guess so. That's all that happened then. Gretchen? Whoa, that, like, is this her? She's gonna destroy the fucking planet? Holy shit. Oh my god, Kyubey. Yeah, we met our quota, let's fucking bail. Whoa. So, yeah, that didn't go well. We gotta try again. Over and over and over. Oh, Jesus. Always trying to kill him and never succeeding. This seems to be where we began. Yep. So who knew at the beginning of this that they had already gone through it so many times before? Well, shit. Oh, now we get the opening. The ED played earlier, and now we get this. People told me to read the lyrics to the OP after episode 10, so it's perfect that it is playing after the episode, so I will go ahead and do that. We'll just keep going. So I assume they're going to make perfect sense now after we learned all that. That was really cool. I'm glad we got to see all that. I haven't seen Madoka's family recently, but that's fine. We don't really need to. Yeah, makes sense. I will never depend on anyone again was the title of this one. Okay, well, now what? We're getting down to it. Can she actually stop it this time? Can she actually save her? Only a couple episodes left, so We'll find out, but let's talk about this one first. All right, episode 10. That was pretty fantastic, as most episodes have been, but in a whole different way. We only had 3 episodes left, then there's the movie, of course, so I was trying to figure out what we were going to be doing. I thought, well, there's not much left. There's Madoka and Homura and this incoming threat. That felt like it would be an episode 11 thing. Could even be 12, but I was thinking 11. I didn't think we would jump right to it in 10. I thought we would have 10 for more build-up to that, but I didn't know what else we would get exactly. Just them kind of hanging around, like a slow build-up, Madoka really trying to decide what to do, being sad about everyone dying. I didn't know what we would get. I should have expected something like this, because one other thing we needed other than just, climax and resolution was more answers, specifically regarding Homura. So to get an entire episode dedicated to telling her story is fantastic. I'm so glad that we got it, and it was really cool to see. We see her at the beginning, I'm like, who the hell's this fucking nerd? And then when you realize that it's her, holy shit, that is awesome. And I've been theorizing time travel and time loops ever since the beginning, and I talked about it throughout this series. So to see that actually be what happened is really cool, and it's done in an awesome way and very reminiscent of things like Steins Gate, which I talked about. I love how it's kind of a play on the trope of like the perfect new kid, because that happens in anime all the time. There's a transfer student and they're the best at everything. She's pretty and she's cool and she's smart and she's athletic and just everything. But here, she is that, and that's how she's presented at the beginning, and that's our view of her. But then we see she wasn't initially like that, and she only got that way by going through a time loop who knows how many times, and watching her friends die over and over again. I don't know if that's like an intentional, harsh commentary on that trope, saying like, those people don't exist, people that perfect don't exist. In order to get that perfect, this is probably what you'd have to go through, and you don't want to go through it. But either way, it's a really good use of that trope, because, again, that's how we're presented to her at the beginning of the show, and we know there's a lot more to her, and there's so much mystery throughout surrounding Homura, and we get little bits and pieces of information, and now to just get all this is fantastic, and to see that this is how she got that way, to see her grow stronger and harsher and change so much through all our experiences, seeing all the different possibilities that could have been. Again, like we haven't gone into like insane detail about time travel logic, which I wouldn't expect them to and don't expect them to, because this is not a time travel show like in Steins Gate. Obviously they are going to go into detail about it because that's such a huge part of the whole story. But here, it just seems like we're working with one timeline. It doesn't seem like, it's a separate timeline, separate world line type of thing that would make everything essentially pointless if we're just working with like infinite universes or stuff like that. It seems like in this universe with the rules we're working with, the past can be changed. We're not working under, oh, you went back to the past to change this, but it turns out you caused it all along to begin with. Not necessarily. But it does seem, at least so far, that it's kind of working under the rules that things aren't going to change. Even if the journey to get there is different and some different things happen along the way, it seems like the end point always stays the same, which again is reminiscent of Steins Gate and somebody going through all of this trauma of time loops. But that could be changed, like that show, and I would hope so. It seems like we always get to the end of Madoka dying, and whether or not Mami and Sayaka and Kyoko are there every time or not, seems like they probably always die anyway, and sometimes everyone in the world dies because of Madoka's crazy witch power. So it seems like it always ends that way no matter what she does, and there is a lot of irony to it, because, again, it's so brilliant how they showed us that scene at the beginning of episode 1 that we just kind of forget about or push to the side because we're expecting Madoka to become a magical girl early in the course of the story. Then I start thinking, okay, I guess since it's been so long, that scene at the beginning of episode 1 must be when she eventually does it. And not necessarily. That was actually the last, or maybe not even the last, but one of the time loops that we've already been through. I assume it was the most recent one. And so that could happen again, basically in the exact same way, but it doesn't necessarily have to. But that's just really cool. how that was done. But either way, for that to have happened at all, and possibly still gonna happen in our main story, it's very horribly ironic that the entire reason Homura got this power and has done all this is to save Madoka, stop her from sacrificing herself, and then what we see there is Madoka now in this timeline actually becoming a magical girl to save Homura. Like, she went back and did all this to stop her from doing it, and it just happened regardless. She needed saving, and it got Madoka to do it, which really sucks. It seems like it's unavoidable. So I imagine basically the same thing happening again, but hopefully with some kind of better outcome, where Homura doesn't have to time leap anymore. Madoka can alter the laws of the universe, because they've talked about her godlike power, and we don't see any of the fight really. They just say that she took the thing out in one shot and became this crazy ultimate witch that's going to destroy the world. But other than that, could she do something more? Could she somehow make this all better? Like, make it so that none of this happened? Just honestly, just make the same wish Homura did, but go even further back. Or just something even more powerful, because things might work out the same either way, even if you go back. But with her godlike power, she might be able to permanently change things. I don't know. But yeah, Kyubey is just like, oh, well, I guess I'm gonna fuck off now. Yeah, she turned into a witch. Humanity's pretty doomed. Oh well, bye. It's such a good balance of being evil, but also understanding. Because it's not technically evil, it's just apathetic. He doesn't understand. From his perspective, his race doesn't feel these emotions. They don't have this human understanding. He's like, oh, this is good. This is really great for the whole universe. This one race of people, this planet is going to be wiped out. That's really not relevant to me. So, whatever. But it's so terrible from our perspective that it's just you want to punch the little guy in the face. But yeah, he's such a cool little villain. And yeah, it was just a really cool episode. They showed enough time loops to get us understanding of everything that was happening, but it didn't go on for too long. I think it was perfectly paced. Just having it in this one episode feels really good. I'm glad it didn't go on longer. I don't think it was too slow or anything. It was the perfect balance. Just watching Homura grow and change, watching all the different scenarios, seeing Sayaka, Mami, and Kyoko only sometimes, seeing her training, seeing more of her abilities and how they work with the time manipulation and storing the weapons, and her having all these different weapons, a big-ass shotgun and all this stuff was really cool, and the fighting on the clotheslines with, the leg witch, that was awesome looking. It's all the different stuff with all these characters, their different perspectives, all the things that she tried, telling them that Kyubey's up to no good and them not believing her, and then fucking the Sayaka witch one where that happened to her regardless. I guess that just happens every time. And then we see what apparently would happen if Mami was around for that still. If she hadn't died earlier, if she found out the truth about magical girls, she would go crazy and say that they all need to die and just suddenly kill Kyoko. And then Madoka just suddenly kills Mami. And it's like, holy shit. And then Homura, leading to the point where she was at the beginning of the show and how we've mostly seen her, deciding I'm just going to do everything on my own. These people aren't going to believe me, listen to me, help me. I'm just going to have to do it myself. I'll get super strong. I'll beat all the witches. I'll save Madoka. Not caring about Sayaka or anybody else and just trying so hard. The first time she tried to stop Madoka from becoming a magical girl, way too fucking vague. You appear outside her window and it's like, hey, if anybody tries to fucking tempt you, don't do it. And it's like, what? It wasn't much better this time, honestly. She was still too vague most of the time. She was being very harsh and straightforward with her criticisms, but the general advice was still very vague. But yeah, she's been through a lot of shit. And she's succeeded so far. Madoka hasn't become one yet. And it worked all up until the point of, her needing saving herself. So, yeah, it's understandable. It puts all of her actions into perspective, gives us so much information about her, and it's cool because I've been theorizing this the whole time, and so to see it play out so well is really awesome. And seeing Madoka as a magical girl, the main character, we actually get to see it. We're waiting for ours to take that plunge, but we got to see it, so I don't know how that works entirely because, she was training, building up her power to fight the big thing, the Walpurgisnacht or whatever. But, you know, she's apparently has this godlike potential, so I don't know where that was the whole time. I don't know what kind of wish she made in those previous timelines. Like, clearly there, she had enough power to one-shot the damn thing. But I guess just depending on the circumstances, that might not entirely be the case. So, I don't know. I'm just really curious what's gonna happen. Since there is a movie, I'm guessing the ending of this show will be that the day is saved. I don't know if I'm just being hopeful and overly optimistic, but I can see everything being alright, like everything being fixed and turned back to normal, and everybody who died comes back to life. But Madoka sacrifices herself to do that, and then maybe there's a movie to like fix that and save her, which would be interesting. Huh. If we do something like that, that'd be two very different types of endings, unless they don't succeed. And unless I'm entirely wrong, of course I'm speculating. But I could see something like that happening, so the show has more of a bittersweet ending, but then you've got the movie that could potentially make things happier. Maybe, maybe not. And you kind of choose which ending you prefer there. That's just what I'm thinking. We'll see what happens. I don't know how many times she looped. I assumed it was a lot. It was more than we saw. You know, she was saying, seen countless magical girls die, and now I theorized that earlier too, and it's confirmed that it's just them, those few, over and over and over and over again. I really like how Madoka saved Homura there, specifically because she has time manipulation powers and can go back and stop everything from happening. That's kind of a cool moment. Madoka, like this super nice, sacrificing person, you would just expect her to save Homura there regardless. When she had the grief seed, of course, she would use it on Homura rather than herself. But I like that little hint of selfishness that's in there, because she does it for the purpose of Homura going back in time to fix all this. Not that she wouldn't have done it anyway. Even if that wasn't the case, she definitely would have saved Homura over herself. But that's just a nice little character beat, because it's like a more human thing. She's not a perfect person. Of course she's going to think, hey, you have the power to fix this. Please try to do that. Even though that means Homura going through all of this again and again, trying to fix it and going through a lot of trauma, she asks her to do that out of desperation. And that's a little selfish, but like completely understandable, which I really liked. That was a cool little moment there. And Kyubey, when she makes the wish, I didn't know what kind of reaction he would have, because of course, hey, we've done all this, I've turned Madoka into a magical girl, things are going good. So for her to wish to go back to when she first met Madoka, I'm like, is he gonna be okay with that? And you've got like a little moment where he's just like, of course he doesn't have facial expressions, so he doesn't get angry or anything, but there's like a little pause where you can tell what's running through his head is probably, this fucking bitch, god damn it. And seeing the scene from the beginning of episode 1 again, but with all the context and knowing everything Homura went through and how desperate she is, and having the ED play over that, and then getting the OP at the end where you can read the lyrics, which have full context now. Yeah, that was fucking great. I mean, I love this show. It's become one of my favorites. Every episode is pretty much fantastic, but I mean, this was just, it pretty much blew me away. Like, it's not like the most surprising, crazy thing in the world. Like, yeah, she time loops. I theorized that from very early on. But it's just so well done, and there's so much good shit in it, and it works so well, and it makes so much sense, and it's well paced, and it's awesome. 10 out of 10 episode. Loved it. Can't wait to see what's going to happen next. So let me know your thoughts on this episode, and we can talk it more down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to be notified when new ones come out, check out the description down there as well for all that stuff, Patreon and whatnot. Really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time.